Welcome. I'm Thomas, host of the My Glaucoma Journey podcast. For episode 5, I'm sharing my experience receiving a permanent artificial drain called an Ahmed Glaucoma Valve implanted on the outer surface of my left eye. In the earlier episodes, I talked about receiving laser surgery and 2 trabeculectomies in my left eye, which I nicknamed the problem child. There is no visible damage in my right eye, and the pressures have been relatively stable, so for now, no surgeries or procedures are needed on the right eye. After the second trabeculectomy surgery on my left eye scarred over, the glaucoma specialist told me my left eye is considered refractory or resistant to treatment. Since less invasive procedures did not work, the next step in slowing the damage was to implant a permanent drain to bypass the trabecular network and provide an alternative way for vitreous humor to leave the eye. The Ahmed valve has a flat section called a plate that is sutured onto the lateral surface of the eyeball between the muscles that control the movement of the eye. The other section is a silicone tube that is used to penetrate the surface of the eye near the front to provide a channel for the vitreous humor to leave the inner eye and slowly disperse through the plate into the space between the eye and the eye socket. As it sounds, this is a surgical procedure performed in an outpatient clinic with a patient under sedation because the eyeball has to be manipulated. As I did with the trabeculectomy surgeries, I fasted starting the night before and had someone drive me to and from the glaucoma center. After checking in, I changed into a patient gown, a peripheral IV was started, and an anesthesiologist talked to me about the sedation plan. I would be given IV medication to sleep for the drained implant, but continue to breathe on my own. That meant I would not need a breathing tube placed in my throat. The surgery takes less than an hour, but involves manipulation of the eye, so a lighter amount of sedation would not be effective. The glaucoma specialist talked to me before the surgery and had me mark with a surgical pin under the left eye to confirm which eye the drain would be placed on. When I woke up, I was back in the prep area with a protective eye patch over the left eye, just like the trabeculectomy procedures and the cataract surgery. The nurse checked my pain level, then gave me juice and crackers to ensure that my throat was okay. Before heading home, I received a patient ID card for the drain. It is a model FP7. Since this was my 4th surgery requiring the eye patch overnight, I knew that I wouldn't be able to wear my eyeglasses over the patch and was prepared with food and reading material since I couldn't see the TV clearly. The next morning, my driver took me to the glaucoma clinic for the post-op check. The glaucoma doctor told me the implant was a success and my pain level was minimal, so I was happy with that. But I realized later that day that I had double vision. This, I have come to find out, is a fairly unusual but known complication from drain implantation. I told the glaucoma doctor at the follow-up appointment about the double vision, but he simply acknowledged my comment without attempting to explain why I had double vision or how long it would take to resolve. My guess is the manipulation of the eye to place the implant either caused inflammation of the muscles attached to the eye, or the drain forces the eye to shift a millimeter or 2 medially to accommodate it. Either way, you have to learn to adjust to the double vision because the glaucoma specialist can't do anything about it. While driving, my brain told me I was in 2 lanes at once with the double vision, so I had to make a mental note of which lane to focus on and ignore the other one. Same thing at work, I had to make a mental note of which image to focus on. Luckily, I am not prone to headaches, as I'm guessing the double vision could have triggered debilitating headaches. After several weeks, either my brain learned to adjust to the new image coming from the left eye, or any post-op swelling subsided. In either case, the double vision gradually subsided. The good news is that the Ahmed drain seems to be working. My eye pressures are stable, and the glaucoma specialist has not found any more damage to the optic nerve. I'm still on daily eye drops as well. For me, the eye drops are not a problem, and I expect to continue using them long term. The glaucoma clinic visits have shifted from every 6 months back to yearly. While I can feel the drain if I place my finger on the lateral part of the left eyelids, there is no pain. With repeated surgeries on my left eye, others can't see any scars when they look at me. The trabeculectomy scars are hidden under the upper eyelid, and the drain is far enough back on the side of the eye it is not visible. But I do have to be careful when rubbing my left eye. Gentle rubbing is fine, but sometimes the contact that I'm wearing on the left eye causes irritation. More aggressive rubbing risks causing a laceration where the drain enters the eye. At my last annual eye exams, the optometrist couldn't see any injury on my eye with his equipment, but the glaucoma specialist did, probably because he knew where to look. Several months prior, my left eye was irritated and I rubbed it more aggressively than I should have, which triggered discomfort. The glaucoma specialist said there was a minor tear in my eye next to the tubing part of the implanted drain. It does not affect my vision, so he asked me to return in 6 months to see if the tear is healing properly. Thanks for joining me on this podcast. I hope that sharing my experience helps others with glaucoma feel better prepared for their own journey. Feel free to contact me if you have questions or comments. My email is myglaucomajourney@gmail.com. That's myglaucomajourney@gmail.com.